Once upon a time in fantasy land, it is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. Oh, do we have a cool episode for you guys? We are talking Dynasty basketball today. Dynasty buy low, Dynasty sell high, and we're going to start with some of the trades. But Doc, let's start with some of the trades here, and because there's been a lot of them, and they may still keep coming down. Want to tell you about our sponsor, BetOnline first. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing, football season around the corner, pro and college, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. They've got MLB, UFC, tennis, NFL futures. BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. In between games, go to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and a live casino. Head to the website today, betonline.com, and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Y'all love cash boosts, don't you? BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, we start with the Dynasty Fantasy Breakdown of a lot of the trades that have gone down here. The main trades that have gone down here. Let me get where I need to get in my rundown, Doc. Sorry. And let's start with the Kevin Durant trade. I see this. Jalen Green to me is a dynasty buy low because I think his numbers are going up over what they were last year. And Jabari Smith for me, especially with his age and his draft stock, I look at him as a fantasy. Dynasty buy low as well, because word on the street is he's going to start with Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green leaving and Kevin Durant coming in. So what dynasty takes do you have on this Kevin Durant trade, Doc?
It's certainly interesting for Jabari Smith because there's a hole in that lineup that Jabari can walk into now. And like Jabari Smith and the kid in Sacramento, who's the
Keegan Murray?
Keegan Murray. Like those are the two guys that I think we've all expected more from the last couple of years. And Benny Mathurin may be headed into that group as well. But I feel like this finally opens the door for Jabari Smith to take a big step forward. And I think I told you during the last show that this is now or never for Jabari Smith. Like this is a great opportunity for him, and I think he needs to walk through that door. So I like it. And then Jalen Green, I think, is just going to do Jalen Green things with his new team, but there's a lot less mouths to feed in Phoenix than there are in Houston. So he should get an uptick as well. I like it.
So this is all speculative right now. And I don't feel like Jalen Green has a great reputation. He had a really bad playoff series, Doc. And has he captivated America? I don't feel like he's captivated America. I like him. I liked him in the pre-draft process. I watched him play with Kuminga on Overtime Elite, I think was the name of the team. I was like, God bless America. Jalen Green got jets, bro. I mean, he is athletic, real athletic. So I think you can still make some good buy low offers for Jalen Green. I think to a degree he's coming out of a salty situation. I think people may look, man, they got Beal, they got Booker. I don't really see the spike. Try it out. That's all we do when we trade, Doc. We go fishing. We go fishing, bro. We got our pickup truck. We got our rod and reel. We got some lures. We got some live shrimp. We're going fishing, bro.
Well,
you're not going to...
There were times last year when Jalen Green looked like he could own the league. Like there were times when he got hot and he's one of the best players in the entire league. And there's other times when he would just sort of retreat back into this weird space and he didn't look like the greatest player ever. He just looked like an average guy. So, and you have to wonder, stuff like this happens. The guys get chips on their shoulder and some of them respond with anger and vengeance, and others, it hurts their confidence, and they're never the same. So we're going to find out what Jalen Green is made of, and it's kind of exciting. I think now is as good a time ever to take a swing for Jalen Green.
And Jabari Smith as well. It's speculative. It's still, I guess, somewhat debatable who enters the starting five. Some may think Tari Eason's going to enter the starting five. I believe in Ryan Hollins, who he didn't say it's definite, it's all locked up, but talking with him, and he's the TV analyst for the team, he made it sound like Jabari Smith was going to start. So we are going to see an uptick in stats. Capitalize on that as soon as you can before any kind of hype train gets started and leaves the station. All right, let's move on to the next trade here, Doc. Again, this is a big time, fun Dynasty buy low, sell high episode of the Fantasy NBA today with your boys Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander and our brilliant producer Andre Lemouche, reacting to the recent flurry of trades. Kristaps Porzingis traded. Okay, Man moved teams. George Niang moved teams. Nobody cares. This is all about really Porzingis leaving Boston and what's going on there, and then Porzingis going to Atlanta. And in my opinion, Doc, Porzingis going to Atlanta makes Okongwu and Risashe sell high candidates. Where if I have Okongwu, I'm kind of like, yo, I went from, woo, I can't wait, to buzzkill. Porzingis is there now? And Okongwu might start at the 4. He might not. If he starts at the 4, it might not work. In Risashe, it just doesn't feel like this team loves him. 24 minutes a game last year and 73 starts. Okongwu may stay in the starting 5, moving Risashe to the bench. So I just see weirdness for Risashe, Doc. And if I had him, I got Risashe last year. I'm looking to unload him before his value drops any more than it already has.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Risashe is ever going to hit his ceiling. And even if he does hit his ceiling, I don't know that it's going to be that spectacular. So I agree. I think Risashe is a sell high. As for Okongwu, I mean, the Hawks got a part-time player, right? A guy that's going to play half the games. Okongwu's still going to get tons of minutes, and those two can coexist and play together as well if the Hawks decide to go that route. So I'm not sold on Okongwu being taking a value hit or a value increase. I feel like Okongwu is who he is right now, and he's going to be okay. But if you want to trade him because they have Porzingis, I get it. Like I can see that angle. But I think if I've got Okongwu, I'm just going to kind of chill and see what happens.
All right, let's have a little side game here. We are talking about Okongwu and a potential value here, potentially, maybe not. Okay, so let's go to the Dynasty buy low, sell high market. I would offer right now Onyeka Okongwu straight up for Walker Kessler and Alex Sarr. And I could create a longer list of centers that I would, but we're live on the air. This is what I came up with right now. First of all, do you think I'm nuts that the manager of a Kessler, the manager of a Sarr, would they even consider trading them for Onyeka Okongwu, who there was a ton of hype about? Maybe that hype has dissipated a little bit with the Porzingis move. But again, we're going fishing here. These guys can easily just reject the trade. I move on with my freaking life, right? But this is the type of thing you should be doing. Because if I can trade Okongwu for Alex Sarr, I feel like I have hooked my team up in a gigantic way. So what's your thought on that?
No, I don't know if a manager is going to do that or not. You never know until you ask. But I think that's good thinking. I think you may have to throw in another player to sweeten the deal. But a core trade of Okongwu to get Kessler or Alex Sarr, I think is a smart move. I think that's absolutely smart.
Zach Edey. I'd rather shift gears and go over to Zach Edey than Okongwu now that Porzingis is there. The Edey manager may make that move. Selling high with Risashe is going to be tougher He may be like a nice sweetener, not a throw in, but like a nice sweetener with another guy. I mean, you could sell. I mean, dude, the guy was first overall pick. He's going to play more this year, and a lot of that stuff. So, and Risache sell high guys for me. All right, let's talk about the holiday trade. Now, let's shift gears here. I look at both Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons as buy low candidates. Because I feel like a lot of Anthony Simons, he ain't going to do nothing. I think if he plays in Boston, and I just read a report, Doc, that that he may not be long for Boston. They may be looking to circumvent him to another team, which means he probably will be circumvented to another team. But for now, he's a Celtic, okay? And if he is a Celtic, I see some uptick over the Portland numbers with all the injuries and all the guys leaving. So I look at him as a buy low, but more I look at Scoot because, Doc, there's no guarantee that Scoot's going to be the starting point guard. You have Drew Holiday. You still have Shaedon Sharpe, even with the eradication of Anthony Simons. But we over here, I kind of sort of think this move was made to unleash Scoot Henderson. And I know that it's also financial, and they didn't want to pay Anthony Simons. He's entering the last year of his deal, so all of that makes sense, right? But I also, dude, they got to put this kid up to bat, for the love of God. Like, you just have to organizationally, you have to see what you have in Scoot Henderson. You have to. It's an obligation. You absolutely have to. So I think this is the year for that, Doc. But does everybody believe that's going to happen? That's where the buy low opportunity happens.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think this move screams Scoot Henderson because Drew Holiday is old. He looks like he's kind of washed. He's not the defensive guy he used to be. He's not the offensive player he used to be. And we all want to see Scoot Henderson do his thing and get a full-time job. Well, now is the time because Portland is not winning a championship with this team. Let Scoot Henderson play. And then Simons, we don't know where he's going to go. I think he's fine. He's going to score a lot of points for Boston if he stays there. But it sounds like he may be moving, so we don't know there. But yeah, Scoot Henderson is a huge winner out of this trade and a huge buy low guy because he's been really disappointing so far. And I assume his value is going to be as low right now as it is in the next 8 years.
Let me add another sell high on this. Drew Holiday. Like, if he's still on your team, why? But especially in a dynasty league, like again, this is a half-ass trade. But offer Drew Holiday, I don't know, try to get a second-round pick for him. And in fantasy, we're talking about 12, probably about a 12-team league. So 12 guys. So you think about the second round in a dynasty draft, there's probably going to be some pretty decent talent there in the second round for a guy whose career's going like this. He's like 34, 35, whatever it is. And frankly, he had a just north of the waiver wire stat line last year. I don't see it going up in Portland. So try to get him off your team if he is in fact still on your team. All right, the Jordan Poole and CJ McCollum trade. Doc, and Kelly O went to Washington with McCollum, and Sadiq Bey went to New Orleans with Poole. A couple of picks involved as well. I look at this as a buy low for Poole because I think he could actually have better numbers with all the injuries in New Orleans than he did last year in Washington. I'm actually kind of geeked about Jordan Poole as a Pelican. I am. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then for McCollum, I see this as a sell high. Get out now. His value is literally only going to drop, in my opinion. He's going to the great unknown, the land of opportunity, the Tankville known as Washington, as a 30-plus guy, highly paid. He just doesn't fit with this team at all for me. So get out on CJ. The time is now. Get what you can for CJ McCollum. So I would say sell high with him. I would say buy low with Jordan Poole. Do you agree or disagree with those dynasty takes?
I like the Jordan Poole buy low because he was such a bust 2 years ago. And then this year he was drafted appropriately and he actually had kind of a fun little year. And now with Zion and DeJounte and the other kid, their young star. Trey Murphy, all of them are going to be banged.
And Herb Jones is coming off a season-ending injury. They're all
going to be banged up for half the season. So he could run wild in in New Orleans. So I kind of like that. McCollum, I don't know, man. I mean, there's so many old guys and a couple kids in Washington that I don't really know. It's a great unknown is what it really is. I don't know. CJ could come out and play in 82 games and ball, or he could, pull a Marcus Smart last year and we could see him, every once in a while for 5 minutes at a time. And I kind of think CJ is going to be okay. Like I wouldn't panic trade CJ McCollum, but if you want to try to sell high on him and get out from under him while you still can, now's probably the time to do it.
Again, I'm with Doc. It's not, oh my God, I got to get him off my team. It's not that bad, but the end is near, guys. It's right over there, right around a corner, way down there. But you can start to see it now. That's all I got on that. I mean, it's not all I got. We talked about this. CJ McCollum, and I'm not mad at him. I want to make that clear. But CJ McCollum powered down the last month of the regular season, bro. You saw it. I saw it. He had that one massive game, right? Spiked up for 40, 38, whatever it was. But that was in the middle of a bunch of really dreadful games because New Orleans sucked. They were running out the string, and CJ was just like, turned his brain off, in my opinion. So now he's on Washington. So do we get a full season of that?
And does this make Bub Carrington a sell high? Having to deal with CJ being there.
I'll throw this in here too. My mock draft doc, I've got Jeremiah Fears going to Washington. I believe it's 6. And he's a point guard. So Bub Carrington ain't safe at all. He's not safe at all. Yeah. I like that take, dude. He is a dynasty sell high for me.
And we didn't mention it, but when we were talking about Boston with Kristaps Porzingis in Atlanta, Luke Cornett is kind of the man now. So I think Luke Cornett is a dynasty draft / buy low relevant guy at this point. As it stands, the day of the NBA draft. We're recording this right before the draft.
I like it. I like where your head's at, man. Okie dokie. And then one last trade here, Doc. Desmond Bane going to Orlando, of course. KCP going back to Memphis and some other stuff involved in the trade. I don't know if you're going to agree with this one or not, Doc. But I for Dynasty, my treatment of this trade is Bane and Suggs both became sell highs for me. Paulo and Franz, they're the guys. They're going to eat. They're going to get theirs. Bane's coming in to an already established program, so he'll be the second option some night, the third option some nights, maybe even the fourth option some nights. Jalen Suggs now is clearly the fourth option, where last year when he got up to 16 PPG, he was the third option. That ain't going to happen again with Desmond Bane there. Suggs will be at 13, 14. So I see his value coming down. Also, Doc, I mean, at some point we got to address the elephant in the room. Jalen Suggs is half a season. Okay? I love the kid. I love him. But the guy plays half the damn year. So to me, it's a good time. His stat line looked really good last year, Jalen Suggs. So you can sell that. And I don't know, man. And maybe the other owner isn't kind of looking and thinking about the lack of games played and more focused on some other stuff. But I look at Desmond Bane and Jalen Suggs dipping in value, and to me, it's a perfect sell high in Dynasty for them.
I actually agree, especially with Suggs. He just never finishes a season. We've been waiting for him for 3 or 4 years, and it still hasn't happened. And now he's going to be the fourth option at best, like you said, because Bane is clearly a number 2 or 3, probably a 3, third option. But they didn't trade for him for the fun of it. He's really good. So and Bane's also had his own scoring issues in the past, and that's his scoring, his own injury issues in the past. And now he's in a new situation where it's going to be more clogged. I think that's the best way to sum up Orlando. It's going to be clogged offensively for these guys to find a way to get shots because Paulo and Franz are going to take so many of them. So I kind of agree with you with both of those as sell highs. And I do have a hot take real quick. I was on the radio yesterday.
Yeah, what's up?
ESPN Northwest Florida, and they asked me who was going to be in the finals next year, way too early. And I went with the Orlando Magic from the East against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They play defense. They've got offense. And it all hinges on Jalen Suggs' ability to stay healthy, I think. So I'm kind of feeling the Orlando Magic.
Let me let's see here.
But
right now,
we got to see where everybody lands.
Mean, there's a ton of stuff to go on. Right now, who am I feeling to win the East?
Not Boston, not Indiana, not the Knicks.
Why? What do you mean? I'm saying the Knicks. But just looking at the standings from this year, I really like your Orlando take, dude. They are in that conversation. Shocking. The Orlando Magic are distinctly in the conversation to win the East and go to the NBA Finals in 2026. And that's not crazy talk. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Pretty wild, dude.
I picked the Knicks last year, for this current season to get to the finals, and they were close, but they didn't make it. And with the whole Thibodeau thing and not having a bench, I'm gonna go elsewhere. I'm gonna fish in a different pond this year.
Dude, I love the Orlando to win the East take. You heard it here first. Not from me, but from that guy. I usually get the pointing wrong. That guy, not my drum. Steve, Hall of Famer, Dr. A, that guy, right? Wait, I'm screwing up.
Steve.
I can't damn do it. All right. Little program note for you. We are recording, okay, right now, the day of the draft. Obviously before the draft. We are going to be reacting to the impact of all the action that goes down for fantasy after the draft is done. Okay, there's going to be trades. There's going to be a ton of stuff going on. We will sort it out. We'll let you know fantasy winners, losers, and all that jazz. Also, if you want to learn everything about the players that got drafted in the 2025 NBA draft and the ones that will be drafted on Thursday night in round 2, head over to sportsethos.com. Our team put together player profiles for all players, including their fantasy profiles for the upcoming seasons. How freaking cool is that, dude? We've done all the homework for you, all right? Like a lot of you guys, you don't watch a lot of college ball, right? You're an NBA guy. Okay, boom, sportsethos.com. I don't know, line it up, and you will now be educated on the sport. Doc, let's move into some buy low targets, okay? And this isn't trade specific, obviously. We were going through the trades right there, but this can be anybody. I want to start. Let's go back and forth. I'll give a guy, you give a guy. We'll go back and forth here. But I got Matas Buzelis, Doc. I believe he is a buy low target and a great one. He flashed his potential after the All-Star break. And Doc, so in the second half of the season, his PRA was 13-5-2, 1.1 blocks, 1.8 threes. I believe he has the potential this year, Doc, to go 16-7-3 with 1.5 blocks and 2 threes per game. I every part of my evaluation of him pre-draft and last year screams that. His stat lines are I mean, it's all there. So I'll start with Matas Buzelis. And again, his line last year don't look all that great. Okay. That's where the buy low opportunity comes in, because do people really know what he did in the second half versus the entire season? Maybe not. Okay. So try to attack that and prey on that weakness and go fishing for some Matas Buzelis. Hit me with a general buy low target.
I like the Matas Buzelis take. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire, and he gets a lot of hype, a lot of smoke. And we haven't really seen it turn into a fire yet, but I believe that it's in him to do that. So I like that pick. I don't know if this guy qualifies as buy low or not, but Derek White may be the last man standing next to Jaylen Brown in Boston. And I love Derek White, man. And we've never really gotten to see Derek White be the man. He's always second fiddle to a Drew Holiday or a somebody. But even when that's happened, he's still been a fantasy beast. So I think with Boston kind of blowing everything up and Tatum gone for the year and Porzingis out of there, now is a very good time to look into getting you some Derek White.
I think it's a strong take because Doc, his numbers are what they are. It's just a solid across the board stat line, checking basically every box. He has a chance to go for like 24 points a game, 23 points a game, and have like a really, dude, he has a chance to be the Norman Powell of next year. Like just solid as a rock, and then boom, he really, really takes off. I mean, Norm was firing 25 balls, 24 balls almost every night there for a while. And I think Derek White has that potential. So I like that call. All right, let me give you another guy here, Doc. His name is Zach Edey. Okay. I talk a lot about him. Can't stop talking about him, actually. He had a line of hold on, what stat do I want to read here? Actually, don't have any good stats in there. But he had when Coach Iserlo took over, his stats took off. And let me see if I can read you these stats here. He had a line of 14, 11, 2, 3 blocks, 1 steal in the first game that Coach Iserlo coached. And he grabbed double-digit rebounds in 6 of the first 8 under Iserlo. We saw some big performances in the playoffs. I think, in his overall rookie numbers, Doc, 9 points, 8 boards, 1.3 blocks. That creates a perfect buy low opportunity because that's pretty low dose stuff right there. So I don't believe I probably made this point with you on the Fantasy NBA today at some point, but I'm very bullish on him in Dynasty, and I still think he's a good buy low target. I really do.
Yeah, I like that. That's I can get behind that. I'm gonna go. Am I supposed to be? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was unclear. Am I supposed to be, because most of these guys are coming out of the column that Rick wrote, right? Is that correct, Rick?
I mean, yeah, on my side, yes. And I have omitted a couple, but like Reed Shepard was in the article. I no longer look at him as a buy low because Fred VanVleet is back. So I think Reed Shepard once again is going to be buried, unfortunately, for the young man. But yes.
So this column is already up on Sports Ethos, so people can go read this.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure about that. I mentioned it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again for those of you in the back. Boston does not have a center anymore. Al Horford's a free agent, and our guy. I wrote one of these too. Huh. I'll be damned. Horford's a free agent, and Porzingis is in Atlanta. So Luke Cornett, man, we saw this guy do stuff in the postseason. We saw him do good stuff when Porzingis was out or Horford was out, and I really think that Porzingis or Luke Cornett is going to be a guy that I think is going to be fun to have on your roster in regular leagues and dynasty leagues next year. All right, I'm going to go find my column that I wrote.
The Luke Cornett hype train is rolling down the tracks. All right, I'm going to skip that guy. Keegan Murray. Doc, I'm gonna beat this drum. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna beat this drum, bro, on Keegan Murray. I love Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is going to be a fantasy beast. Not this year, most likely. I did see reports that they're looking to trade maybe Malik Monk and Devin Carter. Who damn knows what Sacramento's thinking or doing? They always screw it up. But Keegan Murray, Doc, if you kind of average out his first 3 seasons, he's at 13.3 points, 5.6 boards, 1.4 assists, 0.7 blocks, 0.9 steals, 2.3 threes. All right. As the 5th option on most nights. He's 24 He was a little bit older when he was drafted, but I think he's played 3 years in the league now. Maybe it's only 2. I think it's 3. Anyway, uh, he's still a really young guy. So in the age category, he's a really good get in Dynasty. And there's so much upside here, guys. There's so much upside. Flirting with 2010s, a 1-1-1 guy in the block, steals, and threes. Heck, I see a 1-1 and like 2.5 or 3 guy here. Because Keegan Murray has one of the greatest wetters I've seen in the NBA ever. I know that sounds like a crazy statement. Watch some sack games, y'all, and you will see the wetter from Keegan Murray. I know a wetter when I damn see a wetter, all right? This guy's ready for big things when talent meets opportunity. I don't know when that's going to be, but I know the second that talent meets opportunity, your opportunity to buy low with Keegan Murray is going to die. So I would go ahead and do it now, Doc. You're up.
Are you going with Keegan Murray or Jabari Smith if you're faced with them in a draft?
Keegan Murray.
Oh.
Keegan Murray. I like his stat set more than Jabari. And Doc, it's a great question. I think Jabari's going to have a better year next year than Keegan Murray. So hopefully this makes sense. I actually, like in a redraft league, I'd rather have Jabari Smith than Keegan Murray. But in a dynasty league, I would go for Keegan Murray over Jabari Smith. I will sacrifice a little bit of short-term goodies for the long-term upside of Murray. How about you? How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. They've both been so disappointing up to this point in their career. There's a decent chance they're both going to be a little disappointing next year, but I'm with you. I do think both of them are going to be good eventually. And like I said, I think Jabari needs to do it this coming season. So I would probably take Jabari just because I feel like I've got a better handle on what's happening in Houston than I do with that mess in Sacramento. But I'm going to go, my next player, I'm going to go with Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes only returned 6th round fantasy value this last season. That was way lower than he was supposed to be. The Brandon Ingram thing coming in to Toronto scares me a little bit, but I still think the future of that team is Scotty Barnes. And I feel like his value is as low as it's going to be for a while right now. So he made it through 65 games last year. I just feel like he was supposed to be like a 3rd round player this year. You're getting a half price discount on Scotty Barnes.
I love that take. Kind of pissed that I didn't have Scotty Barnes in my article, as a matter of fact. Like, I'm a bigger Scotty Barnes guy than Doc is. I love Scotty Barnes. I think Scotty Barnes is a better comp for Scottie Pippen than Jalen Williams. And I know that's a very shocking and hot takey and unpopular opinion given. And I do agree with the Jalen Williams, Scottie Pippen comparison. I just think the other guy compares a little bit better to him, Scotty Barnes. What can I say, Doc? I absolutely love your take. Scotty Barnes, especially, dude, if they trade RJ Barrett, and word on the street, and we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen on draft night yet, but RJ Barrett being traded is a possibility here. If RJ Barrett is traded, and Brandon Ingram is going to play 32 damn games, Doc. So that's basically 40 points taken out of so Scotty Barnes is going to get back to like big time stats this upcoming year, because his stats did come down a little bit, like Doc said. Perfect buy low opportunity with Scotty Barnes. Let me hit you with another guy here, Doc. I believe Trey Murphy is an awesome buy low candidate because of the labrum injury. Like, if he didn't have an injury, there's no buy low opportunity here. Like, the arrow's pointing straight up. But with the worry about maybe not starting the year on time, it's a torn labrum. I don't know. It's like you said, like this is a bit of a value drop. I mean, last year he was a PRA of 21, 5 and 3, 1.8 stocks, 3 threes per game in 53 games before suffering the labrum injury. So I love the stat set. I want me some Trey Murphy on my team for the next 10 years. So I say, pardon me. Oh, God bless. Dude.
You missed the mute button, bro.
I didn't have time. It's involuntary. It comes up and, I'm so sorry. It's been a day. But I think Trey Murphy, because of the injury, Doc, and the uncertainty about start time next year, creates a really nice buy low opportunity for us in Dynasty on Trey Murphy the third.
I've got a weird one for you because it doesn't feel like there's anything buy low about this guy. But Paolo Banchero was 11th round fantasy value last season in ACAT leagues. The strained oblique slowed him down for a lot of the season. So I don't think this is a guy that you can lowball somebody and get a hold of, because I think everybody and their mother is into the future of Paolo Banchero right now. But like the other guys I've talked about, for the most part, his value will never be lower than it is today. He's going to be more valuable tomorrow than he is today. It's going to be like that every single day from here on in. So if there was a time to make a move to get Banchero, I think it's now. He was a 4th round player over his final 24 games of the season, which was probably the final 2 months. But even that feels low, right? Like, I feel like this guy's going to be going in the 2nd round of regular drafts, and dynasty wise, he's even more valuable. So now is the time to make your move for Paolo Banchero, because he's never going to be cheaper than he is today.
Boy, have you come around on Paolo Banchero. Holy cow. Have you come around on Paolo? I love it. Sing it, my friend. So that's, do you have any other buy low guys, buy low targets you want to unpack and bounce off me?
I do think both Thompson twins count as buy lows, because even though everybody's hyped about Amen, he's still like 5th round last year, and then Auxerre was like 11th round, 12th round, and his minutes were still weird and the blood clots and everything. But both of those kids can play, and I mean, honestly, I would give up a lot, and I mean a lot, to get Amen Thompson on my team, and then I just turn around and hand that team in to the Cam Dynasty commissioner, and then Andre ends up with it. Congratulations, Andre. Many championships to come before you. But Auxerre is the same way, and Auxerre can be had way cheaper than Amen can right now. So I think both of those guys.
Love the Auxerre Thompson call. Amen, like, I don't really get buy low vibrations on him. I think he's got a rocket ship attached to his back, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I just maybe view it differently. But Auxerre, oh yeah. He's through the blood clotting. He's through the kid gloves of last year and measuring minutes and all that. And I believe that we're going to, and, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley are free agents. Will either of them be back? Will one of them be back? Well, you do have Jaden Ivey coming back. But I see more minutes for Auxerre, and with more minutes come more goodies. I think there's an uptick to be had here. And I really like Auxerre's rest of career outlook. I really do. So I think that's an outstanding call. All right, let me get you started with his sell high target, Doc. His name is Ja Morant. If I have Ja Morant, and I don't have him on my team in the Cam Dynasty, thank God. If I had him on my team in Dynasty, I'd be like, I have to get this guy off my team. I have to. And guess what? Now is a pretty good time. It is, Doc. In his first 7 games under Isolo, he scored at least 21 points. He had 3 30s over that stretch. And frankly, put up some really, really good stats under Isolo. He did. And so sell that to these other owners. He's Ja Morant. He's arguably the best highlight in our game. And just because look, for me, it's off-court decisions, which is just like dumb, but okay. You're a young dude. It's some immaturity. You can work your way through that. Like, I can work with that. He didn't hurt anybody. He embarrassed himself and lost a whole bunch of money with the stupid-ass gun stuff and the grenade stuff and all that. But he didn't ultimately hurt anybody, so it's not that big of a deal. I know politically it is, and all that. But, Doc, all this to say, I think there are still people that view Ja Morant as a complete and total stud badass and would probably like to have them on their team, because maybe they haven't been in on Ja Morant, and maybe they haven't experienced, bro, every single Grizzlies game, we're waiting on the Sports Ethos app blurb to tell us if Ja Morant is playing or not, right? Every game. It's annoying. It's annoying. But just because I think it's annoying and Doc thinks it's annoying, that doesn't mean everybody's looking at it that way. So I got, he's a sell high for me. Jettison Ja Morant at once.
I like it. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. Top 5 player last year, and no Kyrie Irving for most of this coming season. And he only played in 53 games. It was another injury-plagued season for Anthony Davis. And, in a dynasty league, I just think his value is through the roof still. So you can move him and get a couple young studs back and kind of set yourself up for the future. Davis is going to be 33 this year by the end of the season that's coming up. So that is approaching old man status in the NBA. I just think now is a good time to sell Davis for everything you can get.
And you should still be able to get a lot for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So don't, and I know Doc isn't saying this, but I just want to piggyback on that. I like the call. It's kind of bold. We're talking about a first round guy. This is not a hot shot. This is a first round guy. He is when he's right, when he's playing, he is a fantasy winner. You win games with Anthony Davis. It's proven.
If you want to go get Amen Thompson, it may take Anthony Davis to get him.
Great point. Would you trade Anthony Davis for Cooper Flagg right now in a dynasty league?
I don't think I could do it.
Oh, I'm doing that. I would do that.
You'll trade Anthony Davis straight up for Cooper Flagg.
For the whole career of Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Right? Like this year, Davis is going to absolutely mutilate Cooper Flagg head to head. It's not even going to be close. But this is dynasty, brah.
Yeah.
Like Cooper Flagg's still going to have good numbers this year. He's not going to suck. He's not going to, but how many games does Davis play? Is his heart and head really into it down in Dallas? Yes, I would make that move. Put it on a t-shirt. AD or Flagg in a dynasty league. I would love Andre Lemouse's opinion on that.
I like it. I like it.
So where are you at? Would you do it, or would you hold Davis?
Well, I just said he's a sell high, and Cooper Flagg is the most exciting rookie to come out since, in my opinion, Luka. I'd probably do it. Yeah. And that's my problem with Dynasty and why I'm not very good at it is I have trouble. You can't win Dynasty with all young guys. You got to have some good vets on your team too. So I'm thinking, so it makes me rethink trading Anthony Davis for Cooper Flagg, but you're right. Like Cooper Flaggs don't come along every day. I would do it. I would trade Davis to get him.
Doc, you're right. Like if you just look at this in a vacuum and you strip all of it away, I'm gonna say this right now. Winning championships in dynasty leagues is easy. It's easier than redraft leagues because you have an opportunity to break your league with trades and build a team that is just a Goliath. Okay. way harder in redraft leagues, because in redraft, it's all about today, now, this year, this playoff run. In Dynasty, dude, you've got owners that want to tank. You've got owners that are grooming a young core of guys, and it's really stupid, and you're never going to win that way, but that's a Dynasty tactic. You've got guys like me that have a blended team. They've got super young in the middle, and they've got some older cats, and they're in it to win it, okay? But I'm telling you, the bundle trade of a future first-round pick with a couple of young hotshots that rose. It's tried and true. I got Jamal Murray with a future first, Tari Eason and Jaime Jaquez 2 years ago. I got Donovan Mitchell for Caruso, OG Anunoby, Malik Monk, and I think a second-round pick. Might have given up a little bit too much in that one. And I got Jalen Green for Filipowski, another young player who I can't remember right now, and a future first-round pick, and I got Jalen Green. That's how you do this. That's how you win these leagues, man. You have to make these trades. You have to trick your league. You have to take advantage of people in your league, and you're not stealing from anybody. You are, hey man, are you in tank mode? Like, what's up with your team? Like, text the owner and ask him, yo, bro, are you open to trade right now? You want some future draft picks? Yeah, man, my team sucks. I'm looking for future first round picks. Got him. That's when you start targeting the best players on his team, couple of young hotshots, future first-round pick. He says yes to the deal, and your team just got a whole lot freaking better. Andre said, I'm in tank mode, Rick. Send me Jalen Johnson. First of all, Andre ain't in tank. Andre, are you legit in tank mode? Hold on. He said, I gave you a Şengün. If you're offering me Şengün for Jalen Johnson, I have to think long and hard about that. That will, I'm not saying yes right now, but I'm not saying no either. I will. He says, let's close it. Oh, he's swooping in, dude. He's swooping in on Jalen Johnson. By the way, Andre agreed with us. Dynasty, it's Flagg over AD. All right, so let's get back on track here. Me and Andre, we can settle our issues moving forward. I don't even know where we were. Is it your turn now with a sell high guy, Doc?
I think so. I'm going to say Nikola Vucevic, 35 years old, had a great year for the Bulls this past season.
He's 35.
Second round value.
He's 35? He ain't 35. No
is he not 35 when the season starts?
I mean, I'll look it up. Keep talking, but like you said 35, I'm like, I thought I knew this league.
I think
Vucevic is 35. Holy!
I think his birthday's right. Like
oh
in
my
October.
God! I thought I knew this league. He's 34 years, 244 days right now. Dude, homie's almost 35, brah. Time flies, man.
Yeah.
Time flies.
So he's a second rounder from last year coming into this year, but plus it's the Bulls. We don't really know. Like I was surprised that Vooch was as good as he was last year. And there was a stretch there in the middle of the season when it didn't look like he was going to finish up strong, but he ended up doing so. But I mean, Father Time is going to catch up in a minute. It's time to move on him like now.
I like it, dude. I like it. Zion Williamson is in my sell high. I mean, good luck. But you got to try. And like the Suns did with Kevin Durant, I would highly recommend lowering your asking price for Zion Williamson. Okay. And this could be a chop up spare part deal. Like you trade Zion and you get a couple of like young solids, and I don't know, maybe a second round pick or something. But and maybe the other guy gets sort of the bigger name, but that's what you're selling here. You're trying to sell Zion's name. Who he is, the viral highlights, any sort of mystique or reputation that's left in him, which of course has completely gone out the window for me and Doc. But again, we're talking about the sentiments of millions and millions of other people that are in fantasy basketball. He's also currently healthy heading into the season, which is huge and rare. So capitalize on that. So Zion Williamson, to me, again, good luck. You're probably not going to be successful, but if you have Zion in a dynasty league, you got to at least try to trade him, man. You have to. I mean, otherwise you're like, Otherwise, you're like a sadist or a masochist or something. Like you like bringing on like bodily harm to yourself, which is a form of insanity.
Dude,
Okay, like doing it again and again and again with Zion. It's a form of insanity. Okay, hit the damn escape hatch out there, or at least die trying.
man, John Morant and Zion really did a number on you last year. They really got in your head. They live up there rent free, bro. All right.
So do you, dude. So do you in a playoff game when you start hitting me with the crying strategy on Monday night of a week-long fantasy bloodbath. You live in my dome rent free, and I'm like, dude, you know I love you. You know I love you at all times. So I'm like, this motherfucker. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
Or
all your little mind games, and you're like, dude, it's just nonstop, and I love it.
Or in the first week of a meaningless baseball league.
It's not meaningless. What are you talking about, meaningless? Our game was meaningless. The league isn't meaningless. It was the first week of the season, and he said he made the crying strategy on Monday night in a baseball league when there's like 8 million more games to be played. Oh, you're the best, homie.
All right. I got one more guy, and then I'm cashed out. I'm gonna say Norman Powell, my guy.
Good call. Good call.
Kind of a breakout season for Norm Powell. Big year. He got hurt, and Kawhi Leonard got better as time went on, and Powell sort of faded away at the end. But he finished as a 7th round value. You might be able to get something for him. I don't know that he'll bring a lot back. But, you know, with Kawhi Leonard looking finally healthy for the first time in a long time, and James Harden still there, and Ivica Zubac balling out, I just think that the big run for Norman Powell is over. And he's going to go back to being kind of that 6-man, 18 points and a couple of threes guy.
Outstanding call. That's exactly the way you should be thinking. You're selling numbers here. You're selling reputation. You're selling the season he had, the good taste in people's mouths. And obviously, if you thought he was going to do all that over again, and you don't trade him, he's not going to do all that over again. We all see that coming. So perfect buy, sell high rather. LaMelo Ball. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'll kind of fast track through some of this. He played 47 games last year, 105 over the last 3 seasons. What is that, Doc? 37 games a year, something like that? Are you effing kidding me? I mean, the stat line's gargantuan. 25, 5 and 7, 1.1 steals, 3.8 threes. Ugh, like sexy right there. But he never plays. The kid's fool's gold, all right? Get him off your team. And by the way, you're trading LaMelo Ball. You are asking for the moon, okay? You're not discounting LaMelo Ball. If you get into negotiations and you got a couple guys you're really, really psyched on and the other owner's kind of nitpicking at your deal, want you to, okay, go with that flow. But hit them high early. Don't like come in soft with a LaMelo Ball offer. It's LaMelo frickin' Ball, okay? And just because you're feeling how you feel doesn't mean the other guy's feeling how you feel. He may love LaMelo Ball. He may have a damn poster on the wall, okay? So you just don't know that. That's why we go fishing with this stuff. But do not decrease his value unless you get into trade negotiations and it becomes the right thing to do. But no, this is like a dollar for dollar. I'm not discounting LaMelo Ball. Do you agree with that? You should still be aiming high with a sell high offer for LaMelo Ball?
Well, as high as you can reasonably go. I don't think you're going to find people that are going to give you what you want. But you have a good chance to check this out in real life because Andre has LaMelo Ball and he has Amen Thompson and you have Jalen Johnson. I really think there's a lot of stuff you all could work out together here. And then you can let us know how that goes, by Andre wanting the world for his LaMelo Ball. But I mean, I think that's the right advice, Rick. Like you don't want to go into it discounting the guy because you've lost faith in him. You want to sell him. You want to sell him to your buddy and be like, dude, it's LaMelo Ball. Look at what he does when he plays. I know he's been banged up, but this is the year. I'm telling you, Anthony Davis did it one year. LaMelo can do it. It's getting ready to happen.
Just saying, man. Just saying. I love everything you said right there, dude. It's LaMelo Ball. And so, okay, let's say you send out 5 offers on LaMelo Ball, and it's top dollar. Decline, 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 decline. Okay, your league and your market has just dictated to you, I got to drop the asking price for LaMelo Ball. Hit him again with another offer, but it's lower. Okay, that's what you do. It's the trade game. I freaking love the trade game. It's the summertime. What else are we doing? We're at the pool. We're at the beach. Send out some dynasty trades. Shit, what else do you have to do? Who else? Quentin Grimes, Doc, is a sell high candidate for me. And I've been talking about that even going back to the season. Putting up the huge numbers, the 240-point games. He's a sell high for me because he ain't doing that again this year. I want to put an asterisk on that. I'm seeing some bubble up, Doc, on Paul George being traded. Okay, like good luck, right? I don't know if they'll be able to trade him or whatever, but there is some reporting on that. If Paul George is not on Philly next year, like I could then get into some Quentin Grimes. Like if he's the third guy to Maxey and Embiid, but I don't know that's going to happen. Right now, I've got him as a sell high guy, and that's it. That's the last guy I want to drop on you. Any comments on those guys or any final comments at all?
I just love looking at that Paul George trade that gave Oklahoma City all that stuff, including
a title, bro. It gave him a dynasty.
It's
potentially.
Incredible. It did.
The Paul George gave him a championship, but you and I both think that this is a dynasty right here. Like 3 championships in a 10-year window, something like that.
They're not done. They still have all these amazing draft picks coming and Topic. Like they're not done. Even if they were done, it's a dynasty. But now they don't have enough roster spots for all the studs they're going to have in the barn.
That's going to be an interesting thing right there. They don't.
It's like when you play in an 8-team fantasy league and you can only have superstars on your team and some guy gets hot and you really want to pick him up, but you'd have to cut like Jaylen Brown. It sucks.
8-team leagues are awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah. When you're looking at the waiver wire, like Derek White's on waivers, that league sucks. I mean, I'm sorry. It's time to jettison that league. Guys, we are out. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the eyes and the ears. Couple of reminders. Go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app. Go to sportsethos.com. Subscribe to our work over there. We'd really appreciate that. On our podcast feeds, leave us a review, like the videos, and that will help us out as well. For Algorithm Andre, I haven't called him this in a while, Algorithm Andre, he's got a variety of nicknames, but that may be my personal favorite. For Dr. A, the Hall of Famer, I am Rick Kamla, the Fantasy Freak, and we appreciate all you guys, man. We'll see you very, very soon. And this episode has been brought to you by Bet Online. Peace and love, folks.